This is a basic video to explain how to save and open files. So we're going to just change a couple things on here. I'm going to make it a gabled roof, and we'll make the width 50 and the length 60, and we'll use a 5 to 12 slope. Okay, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to first, let me talk about this. We've got this description up at the top that tells you the path and the file name that you're using right now. So when you open the program, this is the default file that it opens. So we don't want to save there unless we want these to be our defaults in the future. So we're going to give it a different name. We're going to say File, Save As, and then I'm going to put it on my desktop, and I'm going to say File Example. Okay, so now it's saved a file right here, File Example, and if I opened it with a text editor such as WordPad, so you'd see that it's a file that contains like we put in a building width of 50, a length of 60. So I mean, if you kind of, it's not the easiest thing to read, but all the parameters you've entered are saved in this file, and it's just a text file. So now let's go back and let's change it to okay, I've got 50 and 60. Let's make it 60 and 50. Let's flip it just so we can recognize that it changed. So now I'm going to go back and open my file example. So I'm going to go File, Open. Okay, now see, it went back to 50 and 60. So it opened all the parameters that were in that file. So that's all there is to saving a file and opening it. You just File, Save. If you save, it's going to save it as the same name that you have up here. So now let's say instead of 50 and 60, I'm going to say 60 and 70. Okay, if I just go up here and click Save, or if I click File, Save, now it's going to have 60 and 70 in there. So let me change these to 100 and 100. And now go back to File, Open. I'm going to open my file example, and it should be 60 and 70. Okay, so that's the basics. Now another thing is sending us a file. So now if I wanted to send us, if Meca needs the file to do technical support or troubleshooting, all you would do is go to the file, and depending on how you normally attach files to email, for me, I just right click and say send to, oops, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong key. The file, send to, where is it here? Mail recipient. Okay, and then I say support at Meca, and then I type a little description, and there my file is, file example. Okay, another way to do it that works on most systems, but it may not work on everybody's depending on how your email is configured, is go to Help, Report Bug. Okay, so it's already going to send it to us. I'm sorry, it's sending it to us right here because this is my email. So you would put, you know, whatever your email, and then a description of what the problem is. Now down at the bottom here, it's got two files. This file helps us with security related issues. It gives us some parameters we need, and this is your actual input file. So if you click on that, you can actually see, again, building width 60 and 70. That's the text file. So program crashes, blah blah blah. Click send email. Okay, so it sent me an email asking for technical support, and it attached those files automatically. So that's extremely easy to do. One other thing that could be useful for you, let's say you're in an area where you tend to use the same, you're designing in a specific region where you tend to have the same parameters over and over and over again. So let's say I want as my default to be ASC 710, 125 miles an hour, exposure C, structural category, let's say 3, and it tends to be a rigid structure. That's good. And then my typical building that I do is 100 by 100 monoslope roof, 2 to 12. Okay, so now what I would do, I want these to be my defaults. When I load the program, these are the parameters I want entered as default. So now what you do is you do save current file as default. Okay, so now whenever I launch the software, I'm going to go ahead and close it, and I'm going to open it again. Whenever I launch the software, it should have those parameters that we just specified as a default. Those are going to populate the program when I load the software. So let's see how that works. Okay, so now we have our default, and you can see 125 mile an hour, C, category 3, rigid, everything we specified. 100, 100, 2 to 12. So that's all it is. So, and that file is saved in this location. There's really no reason for you to ever go to that location. It's a folder that's set up for each user. So it's kind of it's in an area that you normally wouldn't go to, and you don't need to know that. But all you have to do is just get the file like you want it, click File, Save Current File as Default, and there you have it. That'll be your defaults. Okay, I hope this has been helpful.